Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to Jerry's Place. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope that you make yourself at home, and I hope that you feel comfortable and that you take lots of information with you that can help you on your financial journey. Just please like, subscribe, comment, and make sure you hit the notification bell so when new videos come up, you'll be notified. And so this information can get around to other people so that they can get further on their financial journey as well. Now, I'm not a financial advisor of any type, not an accountant, not a banker, not a tax advisor. So make sure you DYOR, do your own research and do your own due diligence. This is just for informational purposes and just relations of my own experiences and the information that I've gleaned over time. I want to talk about something that might get a little technical, so you'll have to forgive me if it kind of gets a little deep. But I did want to talk about FICO itself. FICO is a scoring system that the credit bureaus use, and they're actually planning on coming out with a new one, FICO 10 and FICO 10T, as in Tom. And the T is for trended, which means they're going to be using information that's trended over time. And the whole idea is to get a better picture of a consumer's credit behavior over a period of time instead of a snapshot. If you were able to watch the last video I did, I talked a little bit about the differences between Vantage and FICO. And FICO does a lot with snapshots. So when you do an application at that particular time, FICO takes a snapshot of your credit picture, and that's what the algorithm will judge. With FICO 10 and 10T, it won't just be that snapshot at that time. It's going to be data that's trended over the last 24 to 30 months. Yeah, 24 to 30 months. And it was supposed to have rolled out in the summer of 2020, but we all know how that went. So my assumption is that the reason why it hasn't come out yet is because of the pandemic and how that slowed down everything and everything that's going on financially and economically. But that's just my opinion and my guess, not based on anything that I've read or experienced. But it may still come. So you still need to be prepared. It still may be a few years away, but you're going to need to be prepared. Now, FICO 10 does not use trended data, but FICO 10T does. So it's going to be up to the bureau or the lender what they actually decide to use. Now, Vantage 4 is a competing scoring system, and they've been using trended data since 2017. But I think mostly everyone's been using Vantage 3. But again, it's the bureau's choice which one they use. So here's some things that you are going to want to watch out for. First of all, personal loans. Right now on FICO, they're taken as an installment loan. But when 10T comes out, they're going to be looked at as their own category. And that means you may get penalized for taking out personal loans. And the logic behind that is that most people take personal loans to pay off credit card debt, to reduce their credit card bills. But then that gives you the opportunity to run those credit card bills back up. So the lenders are looking at that as a risk. But if they put personal loans in their own category, that gives them a better picture of what's happening and what's going on with your credit behavior. Also, late and missed payments are going to be penalized more heavily. Now remember, this is over a 24-month period. So they're going to be looking back over time from the time you apply back 24 months to see how your payment history has been. And remember, if you looked at the last video, payment history carries a lot of weight, 30% as a matter of fact. And it's going to be impactful on what happens to your credit score. Now, if you, for instance, have delinquencies that are maybe a year old and haven't been delinquent since, it may not have as much of an impact. So that way you'll be a little bit better off. But if you kind of been paying on things and then getting late and paying on things and getting late, that trended data is going to act up against you. So say, for instance, FICO, what they use now is FICO 8. So say, for instance, your score is 595 on FICO 8. FICO 10 or FICO 10T may drop you 20 points for the same credit information to 575. And that 20 points can be a big difference between getting approved and getting denied. So, say for instance, right now you have $10,000 in debt, but you've been paying down on that from $20,000 over the last, period of 24 months. So, FICO 10T is going to be helpful to you because you've been paying down your debt. But now let's use the other side, that same $10,000 debt, but you started off at 1,000 during that 24-month period. Now your debt has gone up, so 10T is going to penalize you for that. So you definitely want to make sure that you're watching out over your history. I would say that the utilization and payment history are going to be the biggest things that you're going to want to watch out for, and the biggest things that 10T is probably going to penalize you for. I mean, that is pretty much what would I call it? Normal financial discipline, is to watch your payment history, make sure your payments are on time, no lates, no missed payments, staying away from the collections and derogatory items, and keeping your utilization down. Making sure that you stay under that 30%, and if you can get under 10, that's even better, especially on FICO. And since we're going to be looking at a history from 24 months back, you definitely want to show a trended history of where your credit profile is getting better, because you actually get rewarded for that. 10T will actually give you a reward for that because you have been taking care of your credit profile over that time. Whereas, if you have lates here and high utilization there, especially when it comes to paying off credit cards, those should be paid off before the statement date, before the statement closing date, and before the due date. So if you're one of those types that likes to charge to the max, but you want to pay it off in the same month, you got to be careful, because if you do it the wrong way, your utilization is going to go up and down, and 10T is going to penalize you for that. But if you pay it before the statement closing date and your due date, then it won't show up, and your utilization will always show a downtrend, which 10T will reward you for. Now, you also want to think twice about those personal loans. Remember, I said 10T is going to penalize you for personal loans because they're going to be their own category, and you'll get penalized for that. So if you have personal loans now, you may want to do your best to try and get those off your report just to be on the safe side. Don't miss any payments, as we talked about. No lates, no missed payments, nothing like that. Again, pay off your credit cards before the due date and the statement closing date, if you're going to max them out like that. Even if you don't, it's still a good idea because it'll keep your utilization low. And if you can, increase your credit limits. In another video, I talked about getting high limit cards. Sometimes all you have to do is give them a call, especially if you have a relationship with that lender and you've been doing business with them on different types of credit products, and you have money going through their direct deposit if you're on personal account, and cash flow if you're doing a business account. That can help to get you higher limits, which will also lower your utilization. I know it's a lot of information, and I know it was kind of fast, but just know all of this goes back to the same credit discipline of making sure you keep your credit profile tight, being on time, keeping your utilization together, and making sure that you do that over a consistent period of time. I hope this information was helpful to you. I hope you can take something from it, and that you like, subscribe, and comment so that this video can be shared by YouTube to other people who may want to know this information and may want to get prepared so that they can have a better profile as well. Thanks so much for checking out and coming into Jerry's Place. I'll see you again soon.